Welcome to PhD with Women on It, Hack the Future. My name is Beata Young, and today's PhD Positivity Hack delivered will be by our guest, Fern, Hanna, and Bria Deveaux. Today's topic is how to build investor ecosystem. Episode 41 starts here. Let me remind you, this is a grassroots community that focuses on women on IT, inclusive forum of women in technology, startups, and female leaders who are supported by men as well. And I bring heart to that hustle because empathy is my motto, and empathy is critical when you are building investor ecosystem. With the fate of the economy in our hands, let's get to know women building investor confidence in their region. The saying, good things come in twos, is perfect for this episode of Positivity Hack Delivered. We have two amazing women on it from the ArawakX Pan-Caribbean Securities Exchange, Bria and Fern. Bria is Equities Coordinator at ArawakX Exchange and also co-founder of Project Limestone, a Bahamian Non Profit focused on exposing youth to new experiences through mentor matching camps and after-school programs. Fun fact, Bria competed as a swimmer in the 2010 Summer Youth Olympics. Fern is currently the ArawakX Exchange Director and of Special Projects and co-founder of Genesis Junkanoo Organization, which advocates for proper organization structures, transparency, and accountability, assisting members in need and the community at large. In this episode, Bria and Fern will share their insights about building an investor ecosystem and network where investors, entrepreneurs, and others in the community can meet and make social connections to grow the economy. Let's start with Fern. Fern, where in the world are you today?
Hi, Beata. I'm in the beautiful Isles of Nassau, Bahamas, where it is so nice and sunny.
I recognize this beautiful window and I recognize this beautiful necklace I got from you ladies. Yes, exactly. And if you go Bahama Mama,
yeah.
and that, there you go, even with my name on it. There you go. And that's not only that, because ladies also presented me with this beautiful laptop case and more. I could go on and we would pass all these 60 minutes of our time. So let's go to Bria. Where in the world are you?
I am in New Jersey, actually. So based in the Bahamas, in New Jersey for about a week. So happy to be tuning in from here. So definitely not as warm as Nassau. Absolutely not as warm as Nassau.
Oh, there you go. I can see the little something you're wearing and
Yes.
keeping yourself warm. Because
Absolutely.
What's the difference in temperature at the moment?
It says that it's 40 degrees.
It's just hot and cold.
Exactly.
Bria needs to hurry up, come home. It's just
I'm coming home.
There you go. We have first comments coming from Erlyn Camille. Hi, Fern.
Hi,
Erlyn. So, absolutely. We love all the comments. Please bring these comments wherever in the world you are. We've got amazing ladies from ArawakX. And let's get into the first question. The heart of the ecosystem is people, authenticity, and real need. What is that for ArawakX? Is that people, authenticity, and real need for what?
For an opportunity.
Let's start with Fern.
Okay,
yes.
Thank you. This is a real need in the Bahamas for everyone to feel included. And that is our mantra here at ArawakX. We allow everyone to come in on their level. Before, we would have opportunities, yes, for investments, but sometimes the bar is so high. What we do at ArawakX is we lowered the bar so that we can include everybody in. We have our stock starting as low as $16 per share. Yes, I did not. That is no joke. $16 per share. So for one reason and one reason only, so that everyone will be able to reach the bar and they will be able to start investing at their level.
I love also the story that you, Bria, brought during the launch of the investor ecosystem. You launched just in October. You had an official launch with amazing lineup of speakers. And you talked about your mother. Can you tell us the story? Because it's very inspiring.
Oh, yeah. So ArawakX is the second exchange that we have in the Bahamas. The first exchange is called BizX, and that started years ago. I believe in the 90s, but I can be corrected in that. So if anyone tuning in actually knows the year, you can let me know. But my mom and dad, both of my parents, invested in stocks and share in companies that were listed on BizX in my name. So when I turned 18, I was able to access the money that they would have accumulated in the shares that they would have purchased way back. And so it was a part. So speaking on what Fern said, it's just building wealth for people, having people be able to access funds and access things and hopefully set up their children and their future families for better success. And I think lowering that barrier to entry has really helped include and create such a large ecosystem around ArawakX also.
Yeah.
That's a beautiful story. Thank you, Bria, for bringing it. We have got some comments from our lively audience. Olga Vasina is saying, love the swag, Beata Young. Great to see the ladies of NASA lighting up the show. Go ArawakX, go PhD, women on it, hack the future. And that exactly was the topic of our, inclusive but exclusive meeting set up by Fern and the ladies of ArawakX. Can you tell us, Fern, about that meeting we had in October?
Well, can I tell you about the guest speaker of that meeting? Listen, we have never seen anyone light up a stage like that ever. Persons are still talking about how phenomenal our first conference was. And I am still buzzing. It was very powerful. It allowed women to come together from many levels. We had the highest as government officials. We had every type of lady in that platform, in that room, and they all enjoyed it. Talking about building the woman, talking about having the voice, talking about speaking up when it's time to speak up and going ahead and as Beata said, leading the way without being afraid of doing so. And that was very encouraging and uplifting. The ladies at the conference are asking for the second conference. and we at ArawakX, we have built a system for females. It's called Keep Up Sis, where we are going in the new year. We're going to be educating females, showing them what is new in technology. That's fundamental. Showing them what is new in investments and encouraging them to invest. Because like Bria, my mother too invested, and that's how I got through university. So you start off with a very small investment, and by the time that investment matures, your child or children will be very comfortable, and you won't be pulling out your hair as into where is this tuition money is going to come from. So we are, like we said, we lowered the bar, and that message was extended, and it was very good.
I loved that message, but I have to say that you, Fern, and you, Bria, definitely lit up the sisterhood as well, because who was chairing the whole meeting but Fern? And then Bria was talking about simple stories that were very, very interesting and also very down to earth, because we can start from small. As you said, Fern, $16 is nothing, but really can amount to a huge accomplishment for your family. So I think everybody thinks investment or investing is such a big thing. You have to be on stock market, you have to understand, you have to follow the money, you have to be watching Bloomberg every day. Is that the case, Bria, for you?
It's absolutely not the case. You can do that if you want. If you find a passion, you can go watch all the tickers, how they go up and down all day, and really be an active investor. But companies and platforms like ArawakX has made it so simple. You can just read something, say, I really like this. And since it's such a low barrier to entry with $16, well, $16 to $25 is the range, you could buy one share. Buy one share, talk to your friends a little bit more, come back and buy more shares. And you don't have to watch things go up and down at all. You just say, oh, I heard they have this really cool company that I might have thought of that was really cool. I might have had this idea, but now look at somebody bring it to the market. I'm going to invest in that because I think that's really cool. And it's so easy and simple and takes probably 5 minutes, Fern?
Yes, absolutely. Just 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And you're on the platform just like that.
Fabulous. While we are talking, we've got some amazing comments and we've got amazing information from Kia Animations, and they are also helping. Patrick Young, I think I know this guy. IPO Vito. Patrick's opinion. B6 was founded September 23rd, 1999. Thank you so much. Where would we be if it wasn't for the help of our supporters today? So let's go to another comment. Kenneth Donathan. Hi, does ArawakX offer community outreach programs such as educational programs? Shall we start with Bria?
Sure. Yes, ArawakX does offer community outreach programs. We can go and educate people on what investments are, how to invest in ArawakX, talking about basic finance. We can't give you any advice about the platform, of course, because that would be kind of breaking some rules, but we definitely offer community programs. If you have a community outreach, civic group or church group, youth group, or just your family you have a really large family, you can contact ArawakX and we can meet you where you are. You can either come into our community center, which is a place for investors to gather, or we can come to you. Either one, whatever. We like to meet everybody where they are. So we offer community outreach programs to anybody across the Caribbean, across the world, because now since we're in a virtual world, we can pretty much do it wherever we want. So yes, if you have any interest in ArawakX coming to your program, you can reach out to one of us ladies or just reach out to ArawakX online and we can set you up.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. And if you go to their offices, you're going to be greeted by Fern, who's, I don't know, Fern, how you do that, because whenever I went to one office, you're there. When I go to the other office, you're there. I mean, like, are you, you know, the dolly sheep that is cloned or something?
Yeah, Fern has a clone. She does.
That's why I hold the title of special projects. I'm in every area of the company. And you know, what we love about our community center, we are beginning as of the new year, we're going to be reaching out into schools. We're going to bring our schools in because we believe in training and educating from the very beginning. We could get this into the school system, get it into their minds that, hey, this is how you can also build your financial future. This is how you can stabilize your financial wealth and build it. So we are, along with Ken Donaldson and the team, Shamanique, they're doing a magnificent job down here at the CIEC Center. You can come on down to Sandy Port. If you're not even in the Bahamas, every Saturday, you can log on to our webinars and learn about how to invest, the different elements of investing and enriching your future.
So, ladies and gentlemen, go and check the ArawakX website and you can join the seminar anywhere in the world you are, and you can reach out to these lovely ladies or gentlemen like Ken, who joined us today. Ken, very lovely to see. Now I kind of gathered, because I met so many people within 1 week that I'm just like putting names and faces is kind of tricky. So you have to teach me on these ladies, because I need help. I mean, so many amazing talents. And let's look at some pictures we have from the ArawakX Investor Ecosystem launch. Here we are. Here's the youngest investor. Yes, on the right. Yes, sitting very pretty. He was actually handing flowers on the day. So on the left, we have got amazing ladies who were speaking at the evening launch. Fern, can you tell us what was the purpose of that launch? We had the morning session and the evening session. Can you just give a little vibe of what and why you, ArawakX, decided to do this event?
This was the most important element here at ArawakX, to be honest. We are here to go into the community. And what better way to do that is when we have specialists like you guys and you coming to the country, and we thought it fit to capitalize off Patrick and yourself, that we can grow with you guys. You can teach us, and we can also in return teach our community. And if you look at that photo is very important. Those ladies on that stage is very powerful. If you put that back up. Okay. Okay, so let me show you why this was so powerful. These ladies here hold the most highest esteem offices in this country. At the very far left, in the green and the blue, Mitzi Turnquest. She is the founder of the first technology school here in the Bahamas. She teaches about entrepreneurship. She teaches about robotics, the entire 21st century state-of-the-art teaching system. Next to her is Honorable Pia Glover role. She is in charge of all of the Ministry of Works. She is the new minister. She is, yes, a female, the first one in that particular seat. And she had a message for the ladies that night. And of course, the beautiful lady in the red and the pink. She taught us how to empower. She came on that stage with a lot of power, showing us women how to be effective in the workplace, how to have that voice, how to engage yourself within the workplace and really grow as females in the workplace. And of course, Bria, she brought it home for ArawakX, teaching us about the ecosystem and everything that goes on here and how you can invest on our platform and the significance of investing on our platform. And then that's me, just wrapping everything up in a bow.
Absolutely, but that's not all. We have another picture. Let's bring it in. We have a picture with another speaker, and I'm sorry we couldn't have everybody in one place, but this is definitely also Davinia is here. Can you tell us about Davinia, Fern?
Davinia, oh my goodness, her department, her entire company, establishment, organization really came in birth within the pandemic. She was in charge of helping small businesses develop and grow. And to be honest with you, that platform took off in the Bahamas. That gave young entrepreneurs and small businesses an opportunity to have to either be granted funds or to be granted loans in order to help their company along within the pandemic. And it's been a tremendous success for the government, and she's leading the way. She says she's also encouraging, even now to this day, that if you have an idea, don't be afraid to come on in and tell us the idea so that we can help you. The same thing is applicable here. So we're going to be actually working hand in hand in getting that platform with probably an incubator type of idea. And Bria, you could probably, I could throw the ball at you so that you can talk about the incubator and the partnership that we are developing as we speak.
Yeah,
Yes,
so
Bria.
we talk a lot about investor ecosystem, but to kind of bring it home on the other side, because I work obviously with the businesses, I get
Right.
to know the businesses really well. There's a whole other ecosystem that's so important to even just the investor ecosystem.
Right.
So businesses, Davinia's company called ArawakX Accelerator, which is a small business development center, works with a lot of small businesses,
Mhm.
but they're really key on businesses coming to list on ArawakX
Yeah.
and people and that ecosystem growing. A part of that ecosystem, there are business development managers, there's accountants, lawyers, anybody who's going to assist a business in working to that next level. So that issuer is what we call them, but business ecosystem plays a crucial role in our investor ecosystem being able to operate. Because if we didn't have the businesses, the investors wouldn't have anything to invest
Invested.
in.
Mm-hmm.
And then all of these people who are part of that ecosystem, they might not be business owners, but they're the people helping in the ecosystem and creating it. They are also going to be investors. If they know that they play a part in creating something great, like the next great business in the Bahamas, they're going to want to continue to invest in business coming. And so it kind of works all full circle together. I know it's very keen to talk about the investors, but you can't miss out on the business aspect because it encompasses so many different types of people. It creates jobs, it creates opportunities. And I think that's really the ethos of ArawakX, is creating opportunities for every person wherever they're at. But to wrap that up, to talk about the incubators, yes, incubators are a big part of that ecosystem because, as we know, the Bahamas has had such limited funding opportunities for businesses. A lot of businesses have had to stay as small businesses rather than getting the funding that they need to grow in the capacity that they have the ability to. So instead of saying, oh, I'm only going to open up one barbershop, but because I can only get that funding through the traditional funding routes. People can now say, I'm going to open up a mobile barbershop that can meet anybody where they're at. I'm also going to, that product that I started creating in my kitchen 2 years ago, I'm going to try and manufacture that product. And they can now encompass larger opportunities. And so that ecosystem can be fostered in through incubators, starting with small businesses. I think that's kind of where we're trying to go with that.
Mm-hmm. And there is a significant rise of the retail investor, and we identify with that, and we are here to help along with that avenue. We see a rise in the American retail investors, and of course, Americans are definitely invited and welcome on our platform. The institutional investors, we are going after every possible ecosystem that we can build together and structure. We have partnered with the Pentry Cannon writers, and they are phenomenal. We are hosting them in the Bahamas in January, and they are going to come. And as we build our ecosystem, of course, our investors will build along with us. So we are off and running in the Bahamas, and ArawakX is going to be something, a household name. And we want to ensure that everybody, particularly women, come on our platform, register with our ArawakX, and get involved and don't be left out. So definitely, Beata, they're going to have to keep up, sis. Keep up.
Yep. I was just saying, reflecting on the fact I can't snap as well as you do, but we have a reminder from Ken, who is saying, remind public there is still time to invest in our initial two offerings, and we have launched another exciting company on our platform. So, Bria, please do remind.
Thank you for the reminder, Ken. Yes, we have two companies the two companies we initially launched with on the platform back in August are still listed on the platform until January 4th. So we have Red Lobster, which will be bringing its franchise here to the Bahamas, which actually they've already met their minimum raise. So technically they have been successful, but they still have a couple of thousands of dollars to raise. So if you want to get in on that, you can go ahead. And then we have Bahama MiFi, which is a technology company that's bringing a really robust technological platform, artificial reality, virtual reality platform to the Bahamas and to the world, since it's easily scalable. And that's also going to be listed on our platform in January 4th until January 4th. So if you want to get in on those, you have another month, a great Christmas present. Like I said, I got gifted shares when I was young. I had no idea what it was, no clue, but now I completely understand the gravity of the situation.
Yes, yes.
And then
Absolutely. So $16 out of your pocket, pay into ArawakX, or 3 times $16, right? Because we've got 3 opportunities. So it's
That's
better
right.
to minimize your risk by spreading your risk.
That's right.
And then if you have questions about particular company, they can reach out to you via what?
Via the website. If you want to know anything about any of the companies, you just go to www.arawakx.com and you scroll up, and you can literally sit in the comfort of your home and you can go ahead and listen to every pitch deck. It provides you all the information that you would possibly need to know about the companies. I want you guys to understand investments. Bria and I can understand investments because we actually lived it. That's how we got through college, off a small investment. And we would want to offer the same thing to you as well. So I know how you guys are going, oh, Fern, that is so far. It's all the way down the street. We want to see some money now. But we want to let you know as well. We are working on short-term investments. So in the Bahamas, we know it as a flip. So we are going to be working on small-term investments, known as flips, where you can invest and you can yield profits, and you will, of course, you will yield dividends in a shorter period of time. That is coming, but you have to get on the platform. Get on the platform so that you can be included in the emails, so that you can know what's going on in the company, and you can go actually invest in us with us and grow with us.
Speaking of that, I missed out one of the companies. There's a third company that's listed, that was most recently listed on our platform. So they're longer than January. They don't end on January 4th. They're a little bit longer than that. And their company is Grow. So I thought it was key to tack that in there. And they're actually 2 amazing ladies who have started an agri-tech business that's going to pretty much transform how we access our food here in the Bahamas. So great 2 ladies. They're on the platform. They recently launched in November, beginning of November, and they have about another 2 months on the platform. So get in there, and hopefully we'll be able to see a little bit more of them. But they're very robust on their social media and extremely easy to reach as the founders. So if you have any questions, you can sign up on our platform, or you can go to their platform called Grow Bahamas and pretty much interact directly with them.
So that's a great suggestion, ladies and gentlemen. It's also a feedback for you. If you would like to gain investors or gather funds for whatever idea you might have, the lowest rate is how much can you get? I mean, what is the minimum you can acquire via your platform?
So if you're a company raising funds?
Yes.
So the minimum is 500,000 and the maximum is 5 million.
There you go.
At the current time, that's what we're looking at. But as we grow, we might be able to either expand that amount greater than 5 million for different regulations, or lower it under 500,000. So like Fern said, keep updated with us on our social media and signing up by email, because things change. We're a startup also, and things are constantly changing, and we want to be as inclusive as possible. So that's something that we're trying to we're working on.
Fantastic. And I also see Kenny is very active today. Ladies, just to let you know, we are here for another half an hour. If you have questions, now is the time to ask questions. Kenny is helping out with some questions, but we are here for another 30 minutes to bring your answers. So Kenny is asking, is ArawakX an international stock market? Bria, let's start from you.
Yes, it is. So Fern mentioned earlier that the investors can be U.S. investors at the moment. We can accept accredited U.S. investors and to our platform today. Obviously, like I said, things change, and hopefully we'll be able to grow that. But yes, we can accept investors from these different areas. And we can also have businesses list on the platform. So if you are a foreign company, you do have to end up being a Bahamian company or have a Bahamian subsidiary to keep, as we're trying to grow the Bahamas. But we do accept international companies and investors right now. So yeah, it's a way to invest in international companies also for investors.
So, ladies, you're quite a young organization. I mean, but I've seen a amazing culture. I've been to your offices, and one thing that I noticed was Robert comes into the office and he's offering drinks to everyone. It wasn't Fern, it wasn't any of the ladies offering drinks, which is, so often I've seen offices where ladies jump up and offer somebody drinks because nobody else thinks about it, or everybody else is waiting for the lady, because that's the usual role of ladies who are looking after the office. So bringing that culture, which is very inclusive, very open, but also very pro-female, and how is ArawakX trying to impact the outside world, apart from that beautiful event that you organize, Keep Up Sis, and apart from that community you're building? What else is ArawakX doing for building the confidence of females in the Bahamas?
Oh, wow. That's a powerful question. Oftentimes, persons ask me, do you like where you work? I said, I love it. And it's because of the inclusive. We are respected. Our CEO and CTO, they respect what we have to say. They bring us to the platform and they actually listen. And I think that's what sets us apart. We don't just say that we are here for the external members to be included. We are included in our day-to-day discussions, in our day-to-day building. We are tailoring different products. We have something that's on the platform right now that actually was one of my ideas, and that my CEO took it and he's like, wow, Fern, I really like that. And we are going to start discussing how we can go ahead and write rules to support that idea. So we are valued. We are, and they don't exclude us. And yes, Robertson is the official tea guy. Okay, I just want to throw it out there. Thanks, Robertson. He makes the best teas. Okay, but when it comes to the coffee, I got him on the coffee. So it is not. It is. To be honest with you, Beata is an amazing company, and they lead by. I'm not certain if I'm supposed to say this, but it's something that we are proud of. Every employee here at ArawakX, we're not just employees. We are owners within the company. That's not typically afforded to anybody working for any company. Our CEO, our CFO, they saw it fit. Oh, and there goes Robinson.
Hello.
I tell you, they are amazing. They spoil us. Thank you, Robinson.
Oh, there you go.
This happens every day. I want you to believe that they make sure that we're comfortable, especially we be in meetings from morning till evening. So they make sure that we're good and we have what we need to sustain us. And honestly, that's respect. That's mutual respect. And no job is too big, no job is too small. I don't care. Some days I be sweeping, some days I make sure that my internal system, my internal family, the ArawakX family is okay. I make sure that they have something to eat. I make sure that they're good. And guess what? Vice versa. So it's
yes,
really
Fern feeds us very well.
I make sure
Fern
they eat.
Make sure that we're all fed at all times. It is like
there you go.
Yes.
You jump to my questions before I have a chance to ask them, because my next question was what are recommendations to maintain investor ecosystem and make people engaged and motivated? So you answered that beautifully. So, but let's remember that any ecosystem, any community is an alive organism, and it may evolve, deteriorate, or bloom. How do you keep it blooming? What's in the pipeline? What are the plans? If I can ask that question, Brie.
So I think, well, one way that we are very engaged with the people who are currently on our platform, we actually have our CIEC, our community center that we spoke about before, is very, very, very engaged with all of the investors. So if you're on our platform, I know that you hear from us all the time, either by phone or by email, or if you come into the office. And then to keep things going, like we mentioned, the community outreach programs, we're always looking for new businesses to list. Our marketing team is spectacular, and we always have really great and funny little skits, or I don't know what you call them, videos that go out. We have one out for Christmas right now, and I think it's super engaging and very funny. So they're always out doing things.
Oh, I'm gonna just check that.
Over to Fern to see if she wants to talk about things in the pipeline. I'm not going to talk about things in the pipeline in my area.
Okay, let's go with Fern.
Okay, now I can only tell you a little snippet, but I can guarantee you would definitely want to be a part of our ArawakX in 2022. We are starting the new year rolling. We have up to 6 companies we're rolling out in January. We're hosting our international conference with Pentry Cannon. We are partners with them. Please look them up, Pentry Cannon. They're a big deal. We are growing our ecosystem rapidly. Like, we're growing so quickly that you're just going to have to be a part of the system to keep up. Certain things I cannot say, but something that's very exciting is I spoke about before. It's called the short-term investment opportunities. I'm telling you, for the likes of the events that the Bahamas would love to host, we were going to be doing and giving you an opportunity to engage in something like that. Something that is very a quick investment. We are definitely rolling that out, and it's going to be exciting. We have some other initiatives on the table. As you can see, we look around every day. We have banking systems that are closing down, international systems that are closing down. Let me just say this: don't you worry, and don't you be afraid of these mega banking systems that are closing. You keep very keen attention to our ArawakX. We have an alternative coming for you. I'll say that.
There you go. Yeah. There is a Christmas surprise.
Yes, it's a Christmas. It's many surprises coming up.
So Santa's little helper is prepping something in the background.
That's right.
But let's look at the potential, Bria. And if you had a magic wand, what would the perfect investor ecosystem look like? You talked about incubator. Is there anything else that you're dreaming of building if you were to build investor ecosystem that is perfect?
Oh my gosh, if I had a magic wand, definitely something focused on the business sector. So we talked a little bit about incubators, but also everyone that makes incubators successful. But one thing that I would really like to see is us working together across borders. So the Caribbean has been kind of underserviced for forever. And I would love to see us expand. How do we work together across borders to make things better for each other, from the Bahamas in the north to Trinidad, I think is as far as Trinidad and Tobago, as far as we go. And then expanding that to South America and North America, across the pond. How do we work together to create that? So I don't necessarily know what that looks like yet, but if I had a magic wand, I would be able to call up somebody in Barbados, they're all the rage right now, and be able to get ArawakX going there without any issues. We could create investor ecosystems. Our investors could invest in companies there. We could build businesses there. Something that we can all work together without that really strong tension with working across borders, that would go away.
Yes.
Excellent. We're going to post a video that we had opportunity to shoot at ArawakX. That's the video that Patrick Young had. The interview was made in ArawakX offices. I was there. You were there as well, Fern. And it's definitely something to look into and really that interesting conversation that Patrick Young had with Mr. CEO of ArawakX Exchange.
Rami.
And yes, absolutely. He's a big persona in the investor ecosystem. And can you tell us a little bit about the morning session? We had a morning session in October, and we talked about possibilities. We also had one of the successful stories. I mean, is it successful story, or are they still looking for funding for their business idea? Fern, can you tell us a little bit about the morning session we had at the investor ecosystem launch?
Okay, the morning session was very powerful. That was a heavy hitter. We learned so much from Patrick Young. He is. I remember watching people. They were there taking notes and writing things down, and it was phenomenal. Actually, he taught us about the significance of having a platform like ours, and totally having an opportunity for us to understand the significance of it. It was something else. We invited Marcian and Bahama MiFi Group to take the stage so that they can show us what their product is all about. He is almost there. He's not yet. I think he's like almost at 400,000, Bria.
Yeah, his minimum raise.
His minimum raise. He's almost there. So we are really trying to help push. Well, get him over there. And the thing what we need to bring home is to have our audience understand the magnitude of his particular brand. It's an amazing piece of technology, and as you can know, technology grows. And if you jump on at the very beginning, you can grow along with it. We would want persons to go on our platform and take a look at it, take a really serious look at it. We talk about investing for our kids. This is an opportunity of a lifetime. So you can imagine investing in technology in 2021, and you can imagine what it's going to grow to in another few years. So take a look
and you
at
can
it.
also imagine what the product will look like after you invested, and you can actually see and play with buttons, right? Because
That's
that
right.
was a showcase for that particular project, and you could speak with the founder. So that was very useful for whoever invested or whoever would like to have their doubts cleared. And so I'm wondering, what would be, Bria, the question for you, what will be the purpose of building the incubator? Is it only for whoever wants to develop their business, or are you trying to open it to whoever wants to listen to, for example, pitches, or what's the purpose?
Yeah, I guess we didn't talk about what an incubator
Really
does,
is, yeah.
what that actually means. So an incubator is a space that, for the most part, services businesses or people who have ideas. So you don't have to have a business yet. You can just have an idea, and usually an incubator will have a path for you. They'll have a path for people who are trying to grow their business. There's a path for people who are seeking funding and they need a little bit more help with their business strategy. That's really the key part. Introducing yourself, getting in front of people to listen to your idea, hear what it is, mentor you, give you advice, and really talk to different industry experts to tailor your idea into something that can actually, take off and do something bigger than your wildest dreams. So an incubator does so many things, both develop your business, give you an opportunity to make your business meet people. Because as we know, the big part about making a business successful is how many people can you get in front of? How many people can you share your idea with? And not everybody has the network from the beginning. So we're trying incubators level that playing field with introducing people to networks, introducing people to people they would have never been able to meet on the street, or if they reached out to them. It's giving them that opportunity for mentorship, which sometimes is pretty priceless if you get a great mentor. And it's really just a tool, just as we have our CIEC, our Community Investor Education Center, for our investors. Incubators are for that business side and really getting to know people and hearing stories, and also bringing investors together with business owners. But it's really that community that you're creating. It's fun. I always say incubators are like the most fun part of business because you have fun in them.
Well, I enjoyed building incubators, accelerators back in Poland, and also having investors from all over the world and joining the platform of Mission to Run startup ecosystem. One thing that I definitely recognized quite early in the piece was the community building process. And the question for you, and maybe there are some differences, why are communities important for building investor ecosystem? Fern, let's start with you.
It's very important because it's the communities that actually keeps the country going. With our middle section, middle class, if we don't build on that, if we don't help them nurture their finance and our country, that's our, just like in the Americas, the middle class really actually carry out your country, and we would want them to do well. It's very important, Beata, that we grow on them and teach them, because yes, we do have the internet, and yes, we do have those different learning mechanisms, but nothing like that you taught us. Nothing is more important than building your own ecosystem, building that connection, that network of people that have like-minded ideas. And talking about being like-minded, shout outs to my girlfriends who's probably listening. I work with, and my friends, my network, that's who they are now. They are entrepreneurs, they are spokesmen, they are their own girl bosses, ladies bosses, and that is critical. We have to start building on each other and teaching, and these incubators will teach us how to do so. It's critical.
Yeah, to build on what Fern said too, though, is let's take it back to the community aspect of the event that we had. I was by far the youngest speaker. I was like, what am I doing on this stage right now? But communities also allow people to see others do things that are similar to them. If you can stand in a room with somebody and they're doing something amazing, you think you can do something amazing too. And I think that's pretty much a really big thing that we don't have a lot of the time in the Bahamas and in the Caribbean, since we're such small, tiny areas, and we're within the small population, we have smaller groups. You're not really branching over into these other groups. And I think that's really something key on community. People seeing that's people who either look like them, talk like them, grew up around the corner from them, are doing these really great things. It shows that is possible for you. And just even from our event, that kind of happened for me. I was like, what am I doing on the stage with a minister?
Besides her being brilliant, she is brilliant. Besides her being brilliant, that's what she was doing on stage.
There you go. And anybody can be on stage when you come to the platform ArawakX.
Exactly.
That's right. Inclusion for all. Yes.
Absolutely. Yes. Together we are stronger. Network is vital. Education, the majority, is important, Alfie Brooks says. So thank you very much for that vital comment. We have got a question from Aika Pagio. Hi, Fern and Bria. Can you give us tips on using inclusive language for investor ecosystem. What I mean is that I want others to be able to attend the meeting even if they are not necessarily interested in investing. Maybe even have them turn up, especially because they are not from that same background. Let's start with Fern.
That's a powerful question.
Mhm.
That is very powerful. That you're asking us, how do we get persons to be included, regardless of the backgrounds they are coming from? That is powerful. I would say one thing: show them how you can grow your money. Everybody wants to grow their wealth. That's the bottom line. They want to know how. They want to know where to go. They want to know if their money is safe. They want a platform that is safe. And if once you develop that trust factor, once you develop that community factor, once they know that they can literally call and pick up the phone and someone answers you on the other end, and that connection is made, that's how you get them in. And that's what we have here at ArawakX. You can pick up the phone. In fact, you could leave the phone. You could drive down to our offices and you can have a one-on-one. I feel, yes, we are in a digital age, but that human element always is preferred. You always would want to hear somebody. You always would want to touch somebody so that you can really pull them in. Customer service is by far very important in our company. We will call you back. We will answer your question. Once that customer has that connection to you, you can get them in, because you know one tool that is very important is the gift of gab. We're going to tell somebody. We're going to say, hey, that experience was amazing at ArawakX, or hey, that is an experience was. So that's something that you would always want to have your customer walking away with. Hey, I actually trust these people with my money, even if it's $16. We might think it's probably so small, but $16 to people out there is very, very, very critical. It's to their pocketbook. Some people can't even move a dollar out of place, and it throws off the whole budget. And we're cognizant of that fact. I feel the trust element has to be there. Customer service has to be there. And once you put those two together and you can actually show them how they're gonna grow their wealth, you wouldn't have any problems with them coming through the door.
We've got a comment from lovely Avani. Lovely to see you, lovely Avani. Customer service is key. It's the experience that we remember. You lighten up, you're giving lovely smiles, and
They my
hopefully,
girls.
there you go. Your girls are
That's my
supporting.
BF right there. Yes, they are.
There you go.
That is
Women
the-
on it hug the future.
That's
One thing
right.
I wanted to also remind our lovely viewers, if you look at the average household, who is looking after finances, who is paying the bills, it's usually 68% of women are holding the finances of the household. So if you're looking into investing, this is your time, this is your future. Don't keep your money in the sock, don't keep it under your pillow. This is going to grow because we are growing the pie. Is that correct, Bria?
Absolutely. It absolutely is.
All the
There
way
you
up.
go.
Mhm.
There you go. There is another. Clara is also giving lots of hearts, and it's so nice to see you ladies all of a sudden lighting up, because that's your last chance. We are running into the end of the hour, so if you still have some questions, this is your last opportunity to speak to our lovely ladies and ask them, how do you make it? You're so bright, you're so intelligent. So Bria, let's start with you. How did you make it into this investor ecosystem? I mean, majority of men are holding the keys.
Well, well, I I studied business, reluctantly actually, and I actually wanted to get into marketing, and my parents kind of guided me. They're like, you're very analytical. You need to potentially do something a little analytical. Like, you just don't realize that it doesn't mean just crunching numbers all the time, which I did my fair share of also. But I kept an open mind, and I had a supportive enough system to try a lot of things. Super grateful for my friends and my family who said, yeah, that didn't work. That's okay. And so I didn't stumble my way into this, but I actually got here through the incubator space. I studied finance, but I was like, I'm not going to be working in that space. I don't want to do it. I'm going to use my skills working with startups and incubators. And this kind of stumbled into this opportunity, what kind of brings them both together. I can still use my financial skills, but I'm really, really passionate about success businesses and people getting opportunities to own things. And that's kind of how I got here. But it was really a stumbling point. I kind of just like tried this and I tried that. And I had a safety net, which is amazing. A lot of people don't.
So just like Oprah Winfrey is saying, I discovered many things that I didn't like doing than to go into what I liked doing. Fern, now the question to you, because did you ever suffer imposter syndrome? I mean, girl, look at you.
No, I don't. No.
No. That is such a Fern answer. Like, I wasn't expecting anything else but that.
No. I can tell you, I've worn many hats over the years, and I've done private banking, finance, hospitality, procurement. I've done it all. Large events, but guess what? Projects are my passion. So I master several project management areas. I just recently came from finance in project management area at the Ministry of Finance, and now I'm in this capacity, and it really combines all. We have my financial background, we have my events background, we have my analytical background, and I just love doing things that I'm passionate about. And to be honest, I'm passionate about this country. I'm passionate about my loved ones, my friends, and I want us all to do well. And like I said, it makes no sense going shopping in Malta by yourself. You would need your ecosystem to also have some money, okay?
So there you go.
Whatever I know that will benefit my countrymen, that will benefit the entire world, to get us to do a little bit better, I'm going to tell them. I'm going to push, and I'm going to keep nagging at them. And I'll be like, did you sign up on ArawakX? Did you go there? Because it's about helping our kids. But then we have to think about us too. What are we going to do for retirement? What are we going to do for another investment?
There you go. And or as in the startup or in incubators, accelerators, the saying goes, fake it till you make it.
Hey.
So there you go. Ain't Loving in Pain is giving us lots of hearts. Lovely Avani, such a Fern answer.
Right.
And she wears many hats. So there you go. You've got so many supporters. Yeah, it's definitely flourishing with support of the community. Each and reach one. We need to help each other reach wealth.
That's right.
That's definitely key when you are building investor ecosystem. Right. So we are heading to the end of our show. Can I ask you, Fern, can you please give us your favorite life lesson quote and how did it change you?
Yes, my favorite life lesson quote was after graduating university, after going to school in minus degree weather, after walking across the stage, and I thought I accomplished something, and my mother said, hey, that's only 20%. The other 80% is your attitude to get through life.
Bravo, sister. Mm-hmm. And what about Bria? Your life lesson quote?
Right. I think it's brought me to this point, but one of the things that I think my mom also told me this was the worst thing someone can say is no. So just go after it with your best attitude. Mm-hmm. And so that's something that I've kind of taken throughout, and I have suffered from imposter syndrome, Fern. So I've needed that as I've gotten older.
Yeah.
Can you give us some examples in your life how that life lesson quote kept you with just keep going?
Oh,
Oh.
man.
Yeah. Fern, you said your part. So Bria, let's start with you.
So actually I've had at the beginning of the pandemic, a lot of life things changed for me. I actually moved back to the Bahamas after a 10-year stint in the US. We were on lockdown. It was just a very crazy part in life. I had no idea what was to come, what was next to come, and it was not a great place. And so that quote of, I just had to put myself out there. I didn't have a network really here. My whole network was away. I didn't know what to do. And I really just put myself out there, and the worst someone can say is no. So you might as well try. And that's kind of, I feel like that's how I got to this point here. That's how I got to working at ArawakX and meeting Fern and meeting you and doing a lot of really great things. So yeah.
Excellent. That's great. So let's go to the question that everybody's waiting for. And before we go to this, I just wanted to remind everybody that we are going to have another speaker next week on Wednesday, the same time, and we are going to talk about conquering the fear of public speaking. That's definitely, Bria, something we can take away, because I was talking during the investor ecosystem how I'm terrified of public speaking and how I would like that microphone to be handed to somebody else, somebody I actually met at the investor ecosystem. That was Millie, because her experience was, 20 years in construction? I mean, like, girl, how did you make it with all these sweaty boys? Anyway, there you go. Fern, imagine the pandemic is over and you can invite any person in the world to have face-to-face breakfast anywhere in the world. Who would you invite and where would you go to?
I'll probably invite Oprah. I'll tell you why. Oprah Winfrey. I think she has a wealth of knowledge that I've over the course of my life I've been listening and following her, and certain things that she says I always held there. She was like, "Okay, ladies, you've already done raising your kids. You've already done being the wife. What about you?" That was something that always stuck with me. And then she said something many years ago. She's like, if you don't tell him, meaning if you don't communicate effectively, how would he know for a better relationship, a better life? And I will take her, darling, to the most beautiful isles of the Bahamas in Exuma, and we will go out on the beach and we're gonna have breakfast there. We'll have some boiled fish and Johnny cake with some pepper and lime, and then a bottle of water.
Bravo, sister. Now let's go into Bria. Who would you like to have private breakfast with and where?
So, as Beata mentioned, I was a swimmer for my entire life. I swam competitively. So I have a very close, not relationship, but appreciation and respect for athletes. And so I would invite Serena Williams to breakfast, mainly because she shows an extreme level of perseverance and I just want to know how she was able to keep doing what she's doing, and she advocates for people, she makes change. I just want to know. I want to know more. She is a mom, she's a wife, she's an athlete. She's the greatest athlete to me, but it's debatable and debatable to others. And I just want to know how she was able to keep that going for so long. And I would have it. See, Fern took my Exuma idea. I don't know. Somewhere in the Bahamas. I want to say Kamalami Key, because I know that Serena goes there, which is in Andros. And so I would take her to somewhere she's comfortable.
And girl, you didn't take me there. I'm disappointed.
Next time.
Your next trip, we're definitely gone.
Yeah.
There you go. And I have to say that it was so sweet, Fern, to listen to you when you were telling me, giving me feedback about how you wanted to host me, and Darcy talking about inviting us for exciting sushi and stuff like that. And you said, no, take them to the shack we always go to. Take them to the places they will never experience.
That's
And
right.
that reminds me so much about my experience when I first went to London. And that was so overwhelming. I mean, you go to all these exciting places and you want to try different culture. And I'm meeting this guy who's a Scotsman that is in love with Polish culture. And he says, I'm going to show you a bit of London. And he takes me to a Polish restaurant. I mean, what the F? There you go. Only guy could come up with such an idea, right?
I'm telling you.
Exactly. They need to learn from us the empathy, because empathy is my mojo, and empathy is critical when you are building investor ecosystem. Ladies and gentlemen, this is beautiful investor ecosystem that you want to visit, whether it's in person at ArawakX beautiful offices, or whether it's somewhere online, wherever in the world you are at the moment. You can join and you can ask your questions, and you can have all your doubts answered. I just wanted to say thank you so much for lovely community of ArawakX that tuned in today, but also some lovely comments and questions from Patrick Jan, Mariana Dera, In Love and in Pain, Lovely Avani, Cara Deveaux, Alfie Brooks, Kenneth Donovan, Olga Vasina, Aika Pagio, Canimations, Ireland, Camiel. I hope I spell these names right, because I mean, Ferner is very difficult. I mean, Fern, you've got to tell us the story about your name, because I'm always struggling. Just at the end, tell us about your amazing mother and how inventive she was.
She is. I think I definitely get that from my mom. My mother is very creative. And Fernerin came from a combination of name Erin and Fern. My grandmother, her mother, it was a florist. So guess what was her favorite little flower? A fern. So that's where Fern and Fernerin comes in, and we got Fernerin. You're welcome,
There you go. Sending lots of love to Mom, and also lots of appreciation and kind of bravery messages to Bria's fiance. Congratulations, Bria.
Thank you.
Had a recent announcement. I mean, we were just looking at your beautiful stone, and that's okay. I mean, he could do better, right?
He did pretty good.
Yeah, I think he did pretty good.
We're just waiting for something better. I mean, he needs to invest in ArawakX, and then he can afford
That's true.
better.
That's true.
There you go.
Exactly.
And that's it from episode 41 of PhD Livestream. Thanks to our guests, Fern, Hanna, and Bria Deveaux. To stay updated and ensure you never miss a positivity hack delivered, follow Women on It and turn on notifications to be alerted once a video has been released. Tell people and they may forget. Show them, they may remember, but involve them and they will understand how to build investor ecosystem. That was Confucius telling you. He didn't know about ArawakX, but he definitely was right. If you don't like something, change it. If you can't change it, change your attitude. Maya Angelou, today is your day to hack the future, hack the positivity you want.